I wanted to introduce this new solution to you, which is related to the annual procurement planning with the help of AI. So it's truly the intelligent automation solution. First, I wanted to share with you the user guide, just a brief overview of it, so you can see what this solution is about and how can it help your needs. Most importantly, it is still based on Microsoft's 365 suite of applications, SharePoint Online, Power Automate, Excel Business Online, and AI Builder. Most likely you have all of that in your Office estate, and you may only require some additional AI Builder licenses. I started doing this because I always suffered from not the annual procurement planning as the concept, but from the process. It exists in disjointed XLS files shared between multiple process actors. Collection of inputs is terrible because it happens over email, in random formats, random times, and it's very complex, and therefore the updates of the annual procurement plan are not happening as frequently as required, while this process have to be dynamic. The more frequent we are using the updates, the better, so we can always stick to the latest status of our procurement process. The scope of the solution. First of all, we are implementing the import of the master Excel file, which we start with. Our initial master is Excel. For the sake of testing, I created the 100-line test sample in Excel. We migrated to SharePoint, and so SharePoint becomes our new master. Since it's online, you can always update it by different means. It's always visible, it's transparent, it's easy to use. One critical distinction of this process is that I wanted to change the logic of the procurement plan to the supply plan, because it's not only that we have to complete our sourcing activities, we have to make it before or not later than the need by date identified by our end users. So when we know the need by date, we can calculate backwards how long time would it take for us to run the public RFP versus single source versus negotiations and so on. And so we will continuously track days remaining to procurement start, and we will assign different statuses to our procurement activities planning. It's the normal regular status when you have more than 90 days to the remaining procurement start. If you have less than 90 days, we call it action required, because you have to start preparing the bidding documents, engaging with stakeholders, suppliers, and so on. And if you pass the required starting date of the procurement cycle, obviously it's action overdue. So we generate Excel versions of each edition of the annual procurement plan. We can update it anytime, and it will recalculate all critical indicators and statuses. And the last but not the least is that we generate the AI-driven annual procurement plan review reports, which I will share in the upcoming video presentation. We start with the first flow, and it operates this annual procurement plan master in Excel. You can see all the different columns, even the known suppliers, the incumbents are here, and the categories we used, UNSPSC category. You can use your own. So now we will migrate this master into our SharePoint. We import the file. We identify the plan date, today's date. Our process is running. Few minutes after it's over, and we can see that our SharePoint list has been populated with all the data from the Excel master and all the procurement indicators and milestones that we were talking about in user guide. They're here, you can see them. We can even see the date on which this plan has been created and migrated. And we have the copy of this plan on SharePoint. Now we will update our SharePoint Annual Procurement Plan Master with the new input. You can see it's over here. It still doesn't have all the indicators, supply indicators not yet calculated. So now we will update our file to the most recent version. Let's assume it will happen tomorrow. The process runs as usual. Let's update our SharePoint. And our latest entry has been recalculated. You can see the required procurement start date, days remaining to the need by date, and so on. And it's here retained for audit purposes. Now let's run the AI review process. We have our SharePoint master populated and updated in previous flows. Now we want to have our respective version of the AI commentary. Process has been completed. Now let's see what we got. AI review. If you remember, we had our update of the plan as of 15th of May. And you can see no items are overdue because that's naturally the process for 2027. Mandatory procurement action activities, overdue items, 90-day plan. So here we only see the emergency requirements, opportunities for consolidation, concentration by incumbent suppliers, vague planned entries. And now, to show you how it's going to look like in reality, I created another version for the update of the 2nd of May 2027. Now you can see overdue items are multiple. Recommended 90-day pipeline is here. Critical emergency requirements, and all the rest similar to the previous version of the AI commentary. So that's your operational procurement plan. Thank you.